Hi, this is Mirjam. This is gonna be a 30-minute prenatal flow for your second trimester. So, congratulations if you made it so far. And the second trimester is all about growing and becoming stronger. So, controversial to the idea that as a pregnant woman, we're weak and like almost sick. I strongly believe that with the added weight of the baby and even what comes after giving birth, we need to strengthen. We need to strengthen our body so our legs are strong and our back is strong because all the carrying of the baby afterwards is as well. It will put strain on your body and we better prepare for it. In addition, and maybe even more importantly, a midwife once told me that it's a good thing that the humans are pregnant way longer than many animals. We're pregnant for almost 10 months. And the good part is that the mother can get used to the fact that she has to look after herself. As cheesy as it sounds, you can only look after someone else if you're taken care of too. And many women have the tendency to be accommodating and nurturing. So this is the time to make sure that you can take up space and listen to your needs, listen to your body, and also make sure the needs are met. So yoga will help you tremendously with that, and we'll get right started. So you come to the top of the mat, in Tadasana. I'm going to turn your way, just that it's easier to see. And inhale, take your arms up. With your right hand, take your left wrist, push the legs down into the floor, and stretch over to the right. As soon as you feel you reach your limit of the stretch, you push the legs down stronger, grounding them down. And then this will allow you to lengthen your spine and go a little deeper. Inhale, come back up. Exhale, release. Again, inhale, arms up. With your left hand, take your right wrist, push the legs down strongly, and exhale, go towards your left. Again, root your legs down and go a little deeper. And then as you're here, see if you can bring your left shoulder blade more forward and the right shoulder more back. Inhale, come back up. And exhale, release. Now we're going to go for tree. So take your right foot up into tree. So I like to take my foot as high as I can on my leg. And then if you would distribute my leg in half, I put my foot to the half that's further back. So if this doesn't work, you can always take the foot against the shin. And know that in pregnancy, the center of gravity is shifting slightly. So if you have a harder time to balance, it's totally normal. And just allow your left ankle to wobble, it's what it's made for, so you don't have to be strictly still. But as you're here, don't just push with your right foot against the leg, push with your right leg against the right foot as well. So you create this stability in your legs. Bring your palms to touch, and then lift your arms up. Now again, keep squeezing leg and foot against each other. And into that, lengthen your spine. Arms are as straight as you can, palms are touching. Release your hands and release your foot. And we'll go to the other side. Left foot, I take it with my hand and place it as high as I can, more to the back half of my right leg. Bring your hands to touch. And then Evenly push both legs against each other, and then stretch your arms up and straight. Keep the legs working as you lengthen your spine upwards. Arms are straight. Even take them a bit further back. Palms are touching. Release your arms and release your leg. Good. Now you can bend both knees and place your right ankle to the top of your left knee like a number 4 shape. And then you sit back. So you're bending the left knee, but you're sitting back. Yeah. And then you hook your thumbs, stretch your arms out straight, sit back further, and lengthen your spine forward as if you want to make your upper body as parallel as you can to the floor. Inhale, come up, and exhale, release. Other side. Bend both knees, place your left foot up into number 4 shape, and keep your left foot active. So the more active you are in the periphery of your body, the easier it is to balance. So keep the foot active, and then you sit back. Hook your thumbs the other way, so the one which is uncommon, and then sit back, lengthen your arms, lengthen your spine. Inhale up, and exhale, release. Turn to the front. Inhale, arms up, and exhale, fold. Uttanasana. Now, if your belly is already bigger, you can bring your feet wider, maybe even as wide as your mat. You can bend your knees and bow. Hold the opposite elbow, dangle your neck, relax your head, relax your face. Switch the hold of your elbows. Release. Inhale, lift up halfway. And exhale, find your way back into a down dog with knees bent. So you can bend your knees, lift the heels, and lift the sitting bones. With your arms, you push the floor away. Good. Come forward into plank. And back into down dog. One more time, into plank. And back into down dog. Bring both knees down to the floor. And then we're going to come to the side. So you can take your right hand down to the middle of your mat. And then we're going to go into a side plank. So if the side plank is too much for you, you can always place the left foot, the top leg, in front of your right leg to help you push the left leg down to lift the right hip up. So either this is your go-to pose or full plank. Left arm up. So remember, the key part of this pose is to lift the hips up. This will take the weight out of your shoulder and strengthen your entire waist. Come back down. Maybe place the knees down for a moment. Take a breath. And then go to the other side. Left hand down onto the left side. Maybe you go onto the left foot and you decide if you want to take the right foot on top or right foot to the front of your left leg. No matter where you are, both variations are fine. So if you're here, you use the right foot to lift the hips up higher. Right arm up. Lower both hands down. Step back, down dog. And then walk your hands back to meet your feet. Uttanasana. Inhale all the way up, arms overhead. And exhale, release. Come to the middle of your mat. And then make sure you have the blocks ready. I would say you put one on either side of the mat. Again, you can work with books if you don't have two blocks. Take a wide-legged stance. And then turn left toes in, right toes out for triangle. So you can take the right block to the outside of the right shin, and you check in with yourself what height is adequate for you. But I suggest now to take the highest so you can place your palm flat. So if you're starting to have pain in your pubic bone, then you bring your feet closer together. If there is no pain, you can go wide. Now, before you go anywhere to the full pose, you start to work the legs. Pull them towards each other, as if they would slip apart otherwise. You're pulling them in. And then bring your right sitting bone underneath your body more. Lengthen your spine. And take your left arm up. Head can look wherever you want. You can look down or up. Now lift your left arm up a bit more so you take some weight out of your right hand. Bring your left hand back to your hip, bend your right knee, and come back up. Turn your right toes in, left toes out. Take the block to the other foot. And there we go, Trikonasana. Engage the legs strongly so the left foot, the inner edge of the left foot tends to lift up away from the floor. So you make sure both feet are evenly pushing down. Engage the legs, bring your left sitting bone underneath your body, and then reach your right arm up. Keep the legs strong, will lengthen your spine. And then make sure the eyes of the elbows are facing the same direction as your head is facing. So these are the eyes of the elbows. Take your right hand to your hip. Bend your left knee. Come back up. And we'll go again to the other side. Left toes in, right toes out. Warrior two. Same story. If there is pain in your pubic, you just shorten the stance. Otherwise, you're fine here. And again, you sit down, take your arms out to the side, and then turn your gaze towards your right hand. Back leg is straight and steady. It's your pillar. And then you bend the right knee a bit deeper. Turn the belly slightly more to the left, but keep the gaze confidently on your right hand. Release your hands. Inhale, make your right leg straight. Right toes in, left toes out. Other side. Virabhadrasana number 2. And again, check out the eyes of your elbows. To turn them up, what you can do is to turn the palms up. So you will see that the eyes of the elbows will go up. And then you keep them that way when you turn the palms back down. Sit down a little deeper. Turn the belly to the right, but keep the gaze over your left hand. Try to work your legs and not your jaw. It's not going to help you. Release your hands. Inhale, make your left leg straight. And then turn to the right again. And then just, you're good still. Turn to the right again. And then bend your right knee. And then we're going to come to Ardha Chandrasana, so half moon pose. So you shift the weight into your right foot. come forward and walk the block forward so you can elevate your hand. Engage the back foot, the back toes, so the toes are facing to the side. Engage the muscles of your right leg. You can stay here or reach your left arm up. Lengthen your spine, stay long. So the goal of yoga is always to find space, to make space. Left hand down, bend your right knee, and come back down. Stand up and turn. Prepare your block. Shift, lift the back foot. So as you see, I bend the left knee in order to go up. And once I reach the appropriate height, then I stretch my left leg straight. Toes of the back foot is active. Open the sides of your body and reach the right arm up if you feel stable enough. Right hand back to hip. Bend your left knee. Come back up. And this time, take the block with you. Shorten the stance slightly. Turn left toes in, right toes out. And I'm going to place a block on each side of your right foot for Parsvottanasana. So as you see, for Parsvottanasana, the short is way smaller. It's maybe 4 feet apart. And the back toes are turned in a lot. So if you would stand on a clock, it would be maybe 10 to 12. You can bring the blocks down, even walk them further forward. And as you're here, you square the hips. So the left outer hip comes more forward and the right outer hip comes back more. Now lengthen your spine. Walk your blocks maybe a little bit further forward and exhale, fold. So I don't want you to squish the belly. So just leave enough space. And then if you can lower further down and there is no squishing, you can bow. As you're down, you root the right foot down strongly. In fact, so strong that the left foot gets heavier too. Walk your blocks back. Bend your right knee. Come up. Take the blocks with you. And then you can turn on your heels. Again, distance is shorter. Toes are turned in more. And then you can lower the blocks down. Square the hips. Walk the blocks. Inhale, lengthen. And exhale, fold. So I can walk even a bit further. And then again, push the left foot down this time. So the front foot is pushing down a lot, so strongly that you feel that the right foot gets heavier too. Slowly walk the blocks back. Bend your knees. Come up. You can put the blocks to the side. And then last big standing pose. Walk the feet even a bit closer together. Heels in, toes out. And then you can bend the knees. And so you want to pick a stance so that the knees are not closer together than the feet. For some, this might mean that you have to walk the feet slightly closer together so the knees can stack nicely on top of your ankles. And then you sit down. Arms are straight, and you can kind of sag the upper body in between the arms. Good. Now you push, like you can imagine you're having a big beach ball in between the knees, and with your knees you're pushing against the beach ball. So the knees are not actually coming closer, but you're using pressure to push inward. Now, if you're not cramping, some of you might have cramps, then you don't go further. If you're not cramping, you can lift the heels up. Good. And then if you still want more, if you're still good, you can lift your arms up. see my knees are shivering. I'm working with you. Hands down, heels down. Stand up. Short break, we're gonna go a second set. Just take a moment, it's hard work. Bend your knees, take your arms. And again, 3 choices. Stay here, lift the heels. I'm already shivering. And take arms up. So this is gonna give you so much leg strength and as well lower back. Hands down, heels down, stand up. Bring the feet to touch. Check it out. Good. Come to the top of your mat. Inhale, arms up. And exhale, fold. Step back to down dog. And take a quick child's pose. Knees as wide as the mat, feet together. Now, if your belly is already big, you can bring your elbows down and stay here. It's like puppy, puppy pose. You can stay here or you sit down. Whatever is comfortable to you as a resting pose. Good, and then come up. Sit down. You can sit any way. But again, widen the legs. And then if you're rounding your spine, you sit up on something so that the pelvis can tilt forward slightly rather than back. And then from here, you bend your left knee for a Janushirshasana adaptation. Widen the seat. As you know, we cannot twist it deeply anymore. So what we're going to do is we're going to twist in between the legs. This leg is engaged. Inhale, lengthen, and exhale, fold. Roll your legs and gently come back up. Other side, left leg out, right foot in. And as you can see, I turn the foot in as much as I can, and I place it not so much on the side, but onto the back of the foot. And then again, you bow in between. Keep the legs down, gently come back up. And then again, Upavishta. Engage the legs and bow in between. So if you're a regular practitioner and you have the urge to push the head down, just make sure that there is enough space for your belly. So this is not the time to push through. This is the time to learn to listen to yourself. Keep the legs grounded and gently come up. Good. Last one, Baddha Konasana, feet together, knees apart. Today, we're not going to do the one where the feet are close to the hips, but more a diamond kind of shape. So the feet are slightly wider from the hips, And then just bow. Come back up. Then turn to the front. And lie down. So most of you will not be comfortable on your back anymore, so I suggest you go on to the left side. You can place a pillow or a blanket or a bolster in between the legs so you can lie down comfortably. So just take this opportunity to rest. That's actually the moment where we reap all the benefits of practice, of the yoga practice. So don't just drop it, but actually do it. Make sure you're comfortable. There is no rush. So if you have to adjust body part, then just do that. And then you can gently come back. And with the help of your arms, find back up to a seat. We'll just finish off with a brief breathing exercise. And it goes like that. You inhale normally, and then you form your mouth like that. And as you exhale, you allow the breath to come through you, through your mouth. And you imagine that when it comes out, it is a golden thread coming out of your mouth and leaving it into the room. So you inhale, and as you exhale through the mouth, you imagine a golden thread coming out and filling the space. And then do the last one. Bring your palms to touch. And then you can bow. Namaste.